Hello, and welcome back to the Grand Championship for the Gridiron Throne. I'm not Zach Breen, and I bet you didn't notice. We're fresh off week 4, and it did not disappoint. We've got some crazy scores, teams on fire, and of course, a couple that are still searching for answers. Let's get into it. Starting things off, Tater Salad is absolutely dominating the competition, this time taking down the Farmington Frogs 172 to 124. Tater Salad just keeps running through teams like they're on a mission. And at 5-3, they're pushing their way up the standings. The Frogs? Well, they're hanging tough, but this is another tough loss in a season that's been full of them. Next up, really good football team took care of business once again, beating Twin Pine Plutoniums 131 to 106. It's starting to feel like you can set your watch to these guys. They're now 7-1 and still leading the pack. At this point, the real question is who can slow them down? Now, Sir Reginald just can't seem to find their footing. I Don't Know What I'm Doing walked away with a 113 to 85 point win. It's starting to feel like Sir Reginald might need to change out their playbook. 2 wins on the season? Yikes. But let's give it up for JB, who's quietly making moves. In his highest score to date, he took down Rajtown 159 to 129, and at 4-4, they're back to 500 and hanging around in the mix. We said last week that JB was one to watch, and it looks like that prediction was spot on. Meanwhile, the 11 percenters keep building momentum. They knocked off Hey Arnold 110 to 88, which makes it 4 straight losses for Hey Arnold. At 0-8, it looks grim for Hey Arnold. Could this be the first winless season in league history? Don't worry, viewers. His team will turn it around just in time for your matchup against him. Then we had a heavyweight battle between the Perk Angles and Skidabita Bada Buda Bada. The Perk Angles pulled out a win 157 to 132, which bumps them up 5-3 and solidifies their place in the playoff conversation. Now let's move into the standings. Now that we're a quarter of a way through the season, the playoff picture is starting to form. Nobody is officially out yet, but we've got some teams that are running away with it so far. We'll start with the Gridiron Guardians. Ryan sits at the top of the mountain, now 7-1 with 512 points for. Right behind them is Noah at 5-3. For everyone's information, this is the first time ever playing fantasy football for both of these teams, and they're crushing you. In 3rd and 4th place, Gene and JB sit at an even 4-4, waiting for their turn to strike at the top of the division. Bringing up the rear, both of the Zacks at 2-6 and 0-8 have their work cut out for them to turn things around. Over in the Throne Keepers division, sitting pretty is Jordan at 6-2 with 499 points. To the untrained eye, it looks like he's been getting lucky, but I wouldn't say that. I would never say that. Then you've got a cluster of teams at 5-3. CJ leading the charge with the most points scored at 564, followed by Dan, Brendan, and Noah. All of these teams are battling for playoff spots. Tebow has picked up a couple of wins, but still has work to do at 3-5. And then we have Reggie holding down the last of the division at 2-6. Speaking of bad luck, Reggie has had the most points scored on him for the entire league. All right, week 5 is shaping up to be another thrilling one. Let's take a quick look at the upcoming matchups. Tater Salad will be looking to stay hot as they face Twin Pine Plutoniums. The Farmington Frogs will go up against really good football team, which could be a tall order with Ryan sitting at 7-1. With news that the Frogs may be out their star receiver, Malik Neighbors, it looks like really good football team may continue to steamroll. The 11 percenters look to extend their win streak against I Don't Know What I'm Doing, and this could be a close one. This one is going to come down to coaching and making sure that the right players aren't benched, something each team has a hard time with so far into the season. Hey Arnold is still searching for that first win. They'll be facing Sir Reginald, and if Hey Arnold wants to avoid a 0-10, this is their shot. If Hey Arnold continues his trend to not break 100 points, it could give Reggie the break he's been looking for to turn things around. The Perk Angles vs. Rajtown is a matchup of top contenders, and it could go either way. This one could come down to the running backs. Will Jonathan Taylor play? Will the Bengals backfield continue to put up 50 points a week? This matchup could get dirty. I like it. Finally, we've got Skidabita Bada Buda Bada and rebranding in progress. Both teams are trying to make a statement, so keep your eyes on that one. JB looks like he's figured out what he needs out of his offense to win these big games, while Dan has put up substantial numbers week after week. All right, folks, that's your Week 4 recap. We've got some serious drama building in the standings and a ton of intriguing matchups on deck. Buckle up for Week 5. This ride is only getting wilder. This has been Planet Z News. See you next week. You are going to have to edit the shit out of this. Skidda bada bada booda bada. Okay.